everybody, today it is once again home cockpit time. 2 days ago I made a video about the new MCDU by WinWing for, the A320 that they are coming up with, which pairs nicely with their very affordable Airbus autopilot panel, which has already been released for a bit of a while. And everybody, today it is time to switch languages. Let's finally talk about a Boeing setup, a 737 cockpit that we have here. I have compiled quite a dream of a setup which consists of a WinWing FMC that is now also released and an autopilot panel which is pretty crazy by a company called Cockpit Simulator. Cockpit Simulator has been around for a while and they are kind of the Ferrari of hardware products. I, reached out to CockpitSim and asked if they could lend me, a 737 autopilot panel, and they said yes. Also, WinWing said yes to the FMC. So let's start doing this. Where do we start? Perhaps before we talk about the new WinWing FMC, let's do the Cockpit Simulator. All right, let's start off. In this box, we have the 737X MCP. Yes, the main autopilot panel indeed, and that one is $1,000. So yes, we're talking about a rather conservative product that really aims for extreme high quality. All right, come on. Little unboxing experience. Here it is. Let's get it out. And yes, while it is true that this is probably 4 times the price than what WinWing will come up with this year in terms of a 737, cockpit setup, it is also a really, really good quality. This is why I'm saying Ferrari, right? I mean, look at the autopilot disengage. You can see inside there are springs. And it looks amazing. Here's an auto throttle arm, and it won't arm because this is not connected to a computer. I think this is amazing quality. It's one of those plastics where you're not able to tell if it's plastic or metal. This is amazing quality, I do have to say. Good, so let's get rid of that. And now it's time for the EFIS displays. What is next to the autopilot panel? It looks like this, of course. And here, have a sound check. Now these buttons here are made out of silicone, but they feel really nice. Once again, this is crazy quality. Near perfect, really. All right, good. This is the right one. Or the other one, perhaps, looks like this. Also good quality. All right. Now we have USB-C cables. This setup right here uses USB Type-C connectors, but this is also meant for more prosumer/pro market. So we have those daisy chain connectors. I have no idea what they do, but I can see this in like a full motion simulator even. Right, and so what is in this box? A housing. Let's take a look. Yes, a housing for the desk to make this a proper cockpit. That's a lot of boxes. Okay, and so I guess this just goes in here, am I right? That's kind of cool. This should be the captain side, left, and this shall be the co-pilot side. Look at that. I've put this one in the wrong way. Now all that's needed to do then, I guess, is just to connect those USB Type-C cables, and this should be, I hope, plug and play. Alright then, I'm kind of scared though to talk about pricing. So the reality is, this desktop stand right here costs $300. This EFIS display costs $459, and this one also $459. We're looking at a setup that costs around $2,200, which obviously is more expensive than WinWing. All right? I mean, here we have the FMC by WinWing, which is $130, So let's go ahead and unpack that. Very nice. Why does this keep happening? Okay, here it is. The color's don't quite match. Question is, who's at fault here? Go ahead and remove this. Very nice. Now, we already had a look at the MCDU for the A320, and I was amazed by the quality. Now, I think Cockpit Simulator, for example, makes also an MCDU, which is, what, $700? Which I reckon is better quality. I mean, here we have silicone buttons, but they click nicely. They work nicely. I'm a big fan of this quality. I feel like WinWing gets a perfect price to quality ratio indeed. Where this is like completely, perfectly usable. Now, same deal as always, also has a USB Type-C cable, and we can put it on like this stand right here that has stickers below it. All right, and we have some screws and some tools there. All right, there we go. Now that is set up, I have this standing on its feet. It's time to transfer to my home cockpit. This is gonna be great. All right, so here it is, all set up. The FMC by WinWing and the Cockpit Simulator autopilot panel. Let's go ahead and turn on my computer because, setup is very... Oh, we've got something going on. We have got something going on. That's good. We've got the WinWing FMC turning on. Now, we all know how important it is for these companies to have a coherent software to talk to the flight simulators. I mean, we all know WinWing has their Sim App Pro. Yes, exactly this one. And as you can see, it already has recognized our FMC device has a new firmware. Shut up. And in my previous videos, I've already talked about how great the software works in terms of compatibility to, add on aircraft or flight simulators. Now, as you can see, the buttons work right here. We can test all the lights, turn them off, turn them on. Can you see that? Can you see it turning off and on? Now, Cockpit Simulator has the same thing, CockpitSimulator.x. Yes, take a look. Here we can test our hardware. Look, even when I select it, it shows that. That's perfect. What I like is, for example, here the auto throttle right now is armed, and we can just, boop, put that off. And it has a little spring inside, a little motor, which actually gets it off. That is amazing. I want to do that again. Hold on. Yes! Now, both manufacturers support the Microsoft Flight Simulator and X-Plane, and also especially the PMDG 737. So let's start up the flight simulator and hop on a flight indeed. All right, so welcome to the London City Airport here. We are on board a 737-800. And as you can see, everything's turned off. And now everything's turned off. Turn yourself off. We can use the FMC to do that. PMDG setup, state load, and then code and dark. That's how I like it. Yes, perfect. And so the panel has just died, so we can start from scratch. This is all looking well. Today, let's plan a flight from London to London. From London City to London Stansted, which is very smart. Generate. This is very good right here. Let's do this again now. And in all calmness, turn on the battery. There we go. And yes, you can see some things light up. You can even see the FMC light up as well. Let's turn on the APU. Yes, there we go. And we can use it now and look at this airplane coming to life. Now, as you can see, the Cockpit Simulator autopilot panel right now is off. We need to turn on the main panel light. And that is really cool detail. Look, I can turn on and off the lighting here, and I can make it bright, I can dim it. That is just insane. That is just crazy. That is genuinely crazy. It's also crazy that it doesn't work on the right one. Hello? That seems to be a software bug, because clearly the light is working. It's just, okay, never mind. Either way, let's head to the FMC to get this airplane ready for flying. Now, really, having a FMC or a MCDU of any sort is really a game changer. Like, it makes your flying a lot faster, as well as having an autopilot panel. Look, I can just head to the sim brief and have, the cost index right here, which I can set up. Boom. There you go. I can just enter it in like this. Let's set up a route, which is from EGCL, London City, okay, to EGSS, Stansted. Flight number 001. Oh, that was the wrong one. We need EGLC, of course. Oh, sorry. All right, there you go. That's better. Now for departure, let's use runway 27 and the 1 Alpha part. Look at that. And it works. Like, this really changes a lot. Then we want to fly to match, probably right here. Then we want to have LOFO. And we're going to use the arrival into runway 22 ILS. Logan 2 Alpha via... That should work. We can now activate that. And when we, yes, use our special, look at that map, you can see our beautiful flight plan, which doesn't look messy at all. Look at that. that is our departure. We can now activate that. Execute. Yes, and it's activated. Look at this. So we can already turn on the LNAV. Yes, and it's done that. We're going to use the heading 220, mainly also to identify the runway. Maybe speed 250 knots. And I do have to say, the feel on this thing is amazing. The way it clicks. 250 knots. And arm the auto throttle already. I want to just turn it off for a second. Yes! Let's put this into a taxi configuration right here. Turn the engines on quickly. Perfect. Now I would quite like to set up QNH. Look, we can do that. Yes, and it works well. By the way, the reason why this right panel didn't work was because it's for some reason linked to this switch, which actually makes a lot of sense. That might be how it is in real life. We can of course adjust the brightness here on the screen. Here we have even just like in real life, like a bar that shows it. Now, by the way, the screen is the same as the MCDU from the A320, which is good. Good quality, perfect. You can watch a movie on this. So let's go ahead and enjoy some happy flighting. Let's get taxiing right now while not crashing into a hangar. I have no idea how London City even exists as an airport. That seems dangerous. Either way, this is runway 27, so let's take off from it. All is well. Let's do a nice rolling takeoff. Runway 27 identified, full power, and airspeed is very much alive. Now, my goal is to really use this autopilot panel as much as I can, so I'm just gonna lightly touch the controls. The airplane then is going to turn right immediately after departure, so come on, let's do it. We don't have any V-speeds inserted, which is a bit embarrassing, but this is no problem here. 140 knots should be good. Rotate, as they say. And here we go. We are off now. Landing gear up, and let's turn on the airplane. So, yes, perfect. Autopilot engage, and vertical speed engage, and LNAV engage. Come on. Yes, like that. And the airplane will now fly itself. All is well. Yes, airplane is climbing here, as seen here on the FMC. We're gonna now go toward the waypoint LC N01. Now let's get some more speed in here. Speed check, flaps up. In fact, we can even turn on VNAV here, so the airplane automatically flies this departure, and it does so. We're now at 3,000 feet as per departure chart. This is going very well. Now, how can we play around with this? Let's see, a waypoint. Let's turn on the waypoint here. Yes, and we can see waypoint. We can see airport. We can turn on stuff. We can zoom out a little bit. Oh, here's some issue with our cruise altitude. Let's set that to 7,000. Come on, 7,000 feet. Come on. Probably the minimum is 10,000 feet. So let's use that. Look at the success of the Swiss 01 flying the airplane as we should. All right, and the autopilot is automatically climbing now to 10,000 feet, I reckon, as instructed. Or we could just do that ourselves here. You know what I like is how this vertical speed selector just feels great. Let's zoom out a little bit. And let's get rid of all this stuff here. We won't need that. We want to go directly from Lofo to Abbott. So let's clear whatever the hell this is. And of course use our beloved flight computer. Come on, Logan. And then CLN. Perfect. And let's put that right here. Execute. Yes, that's exactly what I want. And actually, we can also remove the holding at Abbott. Now, London Stansted is down there. We are right here. This couldn't go better. Okay, turning left now. We are now going to reach our top of descent. So how about you start descent? It is descending. You can see all the important values right here. I'm just amazed. Now, turning left. Our airport is somewhere over there. Look at that bang. Okay, we have to descend a little. Oh, I think I messed up. Doesn't matter right here. Zoom into the flight plan. We are honestly supposed to be much lower now. We are way too fast. No problem at all. Not a missed approach needed. This is all fine. Let's go ahead and slow down the auto throttle. Doesn't really, we're at 300 knots now. That kind of happens sometimes. But look, we are almost aligned here on localizer. So let's go ahead and turn on VOR localizer. There we go. And actually turn on approach mode right there. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Help. It's down there. Why did I get that? Perfect. There you go. Approach mode now turned on. This is absolutely perfect. Runway is down there. Let's turn on the second autopilot here, which is needed for auto land. Very good, very good. We are coming in quite fast, and there is an airplane in front of us. Let's not look into the cockpit now. Let's just, keep a, closed eye there. For some reason, I think this airplane is landing itself. Look, it says flare down there, which is, I think, a good sign, but it doesn't say auto. I do think, actually, it's the fault of the PMDG 737, really. Anyway, come on. Here is a landing to be done by our airplane. It's doing it well. So, come on. Auto land, PMDG, you can do it. You're a bit behind touchdown zone, auto land, but that is fine. Just land her smoothly. That was actually quite all right. There we go. Now it is time to stop the airplane. Maybe just for the kicks and giggles, let's use the disengage thing. Yes! That feels amazing. All right, and so here we go. We are stopping on our Boeing 737. Everybody, want a dream hardware? Yes, of course, the cockpit simulator is very expensive, but you get top-notch quality and reliability. But the WinWing really blows everything out of the water with their new FMC, which I very, very much like. So, everybody, thank you guys so much for watching this Boeing video. I might have a door or two fall off today, and I'll see you guys tomorrow as always. Good night. And a special thanks goes out to my members, my supporters, Guns Killer, R27, James Duram, that dude, Anime Gods of Gaming, Derek, Insider Plane, Nishijitsu Finder, Professional Jamal, Ryland Williams, and New the York. You've got beautiful names.